made. He couldn't have made that sacrifice. But me, I couldn't have lived with myself if I hadn't. I will always make the decision I made. I am not a human. I tried to be, but I'm not. Kara Danvers was a mistake.
Regret the day you screwed me. Because now, you have all of my attention.
What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Supergirl Season 3 trailer breakdown. So, we've got quite a lot of cool things to talk about at Supergirl. They've managed to piss off the entire of the people who ship Supercorp, which, that's not a good idea, pissing off an entire section of your fandom. But, nonetheless, that was before the panel, and the trailer has dropped, and it does look, there's not a lot in it. There's not a lot here, unfortunately. They actually announced quite a lot of people who are actually in the show, but they're not actually in the trailer. So it does look like the show is kind of going back to its roots, and it's going to deal with the fallout of the whole Mon-El pod thing once again, and that's it. He's going to go back in. He's in the pod, and apparently this will be a Season 3 mystery, so it will be central to everything that is actually happening on the show and how he will actually return, and that will be hopefully revealed, I would say, near the end of the season. I reckon he'll probably be a big thing that he actually returns. Maybe they'll do like a mid-season thing, but it does look like Kara Danvers is actually turning her back on humanity, and it looks like she is just saying that, well, Kara Danvers was a mistake, which pretty much implies that, well, she is going to be Supergirl full-time. She's not going to bother trying to have this actual personality here, and she's not going to have an alter ego, which is a bit strange. And it's apparently the theme for this season really will actually be all centered around what it is to actually be human, and how you can kind of be human, and where that will actually go, which is quite a hint towards what will actually be going on here. And we see a clip of what looks like her mother as well. So we see her on it looks like a farm. I'm not too sure if this is a flashback, is this a vision that she's having? I can't help but think maybe, obviously we've got Odette who will be playing Rain. I kind of think that Rain might be kind of messing with her, and it'd be cool if she starts seeing visions of her mother, but then it turns out that Rain is actually pulling the strings there of her, which I think would be an interesting way of doing things. And obviously Maggie is not a season regular anymore, and that is not good. This was one of the most progressive storylines, one of the most interesting things on TV, but I can't blame the actress for not wanting to actually be on the show full time, because then she can go and to do other opportunities, to be honest, and she can actually be in other shows where her talents will actually be utilised better, as opposed to like a third tier kind of real romance that is happening on the show. Now, obviously here it looks like we've got people running and everything going on here. And this could possibly due to Rain, obviously, being on the show as well. And that could be a hint towards just what we're leading to and how that character will actually come to the show. But it does sound like the character will be using more different tactics, and her reasonings and her origin will be slowly released over Season 3, we've been told. And really, we see, obviously, Kara face a mysterious enemy here. And, well, we've got a brand new villain. We've got a brand new villain for Season 3. That is Morgan Edge. Now, in the comics, Morgan Edge was someone who had a media empire, took over from his father, and had a direct competitor with, obviously, the Daily Planet. And he was convinced as well. He started Intergang, which is an international planetary, obviously, organisation, criminal organisation as well. And what it turns out is he thinks he's talking to Darkseid, but then it turns out he's actually talking to his actual munitions expert, and he's tricked along. And really, we haven't had much of him recently. He was actually featured in Smallville as well. Two actors played him in Smallville. But here he will be playing a real estate person thing. I guess that's worse. Estate agents are the fucking worst, honestly. Take it from me. I'm sorry, you are the worst people alive. But he will be playing a real estate mogul. And it looks like he is butting heads with Lena here regarding whatever is going on. And she's crossed him. And we see, obviously, something going on here. Some kind of gun in the back of a truck. Very, very dark night there, to be honest. Now, other things that we're actually getting on the show is... Now, Sai, who is Gail Marsh, she was able to get the powers of psychic ability and everything like that. And she actually fought Supergirl a couple of times in the comics, thinking that, well, Supergirl was something called the Decay. And she was actually created to fight this menace. But, obviously, she did not go very well there. She didn't do very well in that whole kind of fight. And she was featured in Forever Evil as well, very briefly. And, well, that is pretty much it for the show. It does look like they are going to go a completely brand new route with the show. We will also, as well as this, actually be getting John John's father. So John John's father will be featured on the show. He will be playing, obviously, John John's father there as well. But it's looking really curious as to how that will actually go as he continues his relationship with Morgan as well. And it looks like we're getting one less relationship, and Melissa actually hinted at the panel on Comic-Con that, well, we are actually going to... she is going to kind of forego a ship or a relationship this season, which I can't help but think that this will actually do it a bit of good. To be honest, I wasn't a fan of her relationship with Mon-El. I thought Mon-El was a really terribly written character. They made him completely irredeemable. He was just sucked, to be honest. I really, really did not like that character. Absolutely one bit. I'm sorry to any of you out there who actually liked him, to be honest, but he sucked, and I'm glad he's fucking gone. But this season does look good. I hope they do kind of make it more structured, get away from the bloody drama, the relationships, and actually become a superhero show, as opposed to a relationship show with someone who actually does some kind of superhero bit as well. But that is it for this video. Please you drop a like, please you subscribe, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.